Okay, so this is our first day when we are learning deep learning. So this is my first day of recording this. Actually, what I was reading, let me show you. I was reading this book, Hands-on Machine Learning with Scikit-learn and Keras. Uh, this is the book. Okay, so where we are doing today regression. We are solving regression problem with the help of deep learning, and we are using TensorFlow and Keras for this. Okay, so let me first of all show you the problem statement. Let me import these important libraries. We are importing TensorFlow to handle all the deep learning stuff, Pandas for reading our data frame, NumPy for some calculations, obviously these two for visualizations. Okay, these are TensorFlow is maybe taking time. Okay, so everything is imported. Okay, now let's do some EDA. First of all, let me also comment reading data set. Okay, we are reading data set here. Let me show you the first 5 column. So this data set is about predicting the price of the house, price of the real estate property with the help of size. Maybe it should be in meter squares. Okay, so now what we'll do is we will see. Okay, let me show you the shape. We have 100 samples, so like this 1 2 3, in total we have 100 samples. This is our independent variable and this is the dependent variable. So we have to predict price with the help of size. So what we'll do is we'll do some exploration of our data, whether something is missing or not. No data set is missing. Okay, so these are the data points on the with the help of scatter, this function of the matplotlib library. We are creating a scatter plot and we can see a trend in our data set. As the size is increasing, we can also label it plt dot x label. We are seeing a pattern on the x label. This is size is given, and on the y label prices are given. Okay, so we can see a kind of linear relationship, positive linear relationship with within the data. Let's also see some statistical summary of the data sets. Okay, so we have in total 100 samples, and what is the mean of the size? Mean is around 853, standard deviation is 292. Let's see one more pair plot of this data set. So in this diagram we can see there's a trend between price and size. Okay, prices are normally distributed. Okay, so here we can see this size variable, or independent variable, which is size, is right skewed. So I was reading some articles how to handle skewness. There were some help that I found that by transforming the data set, we can create a kind of normal distribution, a Gaussian distribution in our given data set. So what I did was I found out that there were some examples like this. After this point on the axis, it may be like here around 1500. After 1500 there is only one data set which is around 1800 and something. So this is clearly an outlier in outlier in our data set. So what we can infer from this, obviously 100 samples are we can increase our sample size. Otherwise we can also do some cleaning. So what I tried is I tried to remove anything above this level. So first of all I tried bunch of values. I selected this after 1310, so after this value, mm, after around from here only 10 samples were there greater than 1310. So what I decided, I will create a clean data frame which will be only the data points less than 1310. So let me create this and see summary. So see the standard deviation. Now standard deviation is around 219, and earlier it was 297, and the mean was 853, and now it is 8784. So it is up to our understanding how the data set and what is the problem statement, whether it is good idea to trim the data set, trim the outliers or not. It is on our discussion. Now let me show you the distribution. This is similar to this one, and now what we are doing is we are also plotting clean data frame. So now this is little bit less skewed, we can say. So what I tried bunch of transformations also. So first of all, this I checked the skewness, and then I transformed the data set. I took the log of this size variable. So the log, after transforming, the skewness reduced, see, from 0.83 to 0.53, and by taking the square root of the data set, the skewness also decreased, but log is better than the square root, obviously better than no transformation. Okay, so let's also see the visualization of this. This is a after transforming to the transforming the data set with taking square roots, and this is a logarithmic transformation, and this is without transformation. So with the visualization I cannot distinguish which one is better, but clearly with these numbers we can figure out log transformation worked well. Okay, so now simply what we are doing is, see, what I am doing now is I am trying to figure out how deep learning works. I kind of knew how like how to make the code work, copy and paste, but now I am deep diving into the fundamentals. So let's follow along with me. I'm doing what I'm doing here is I'm declaring x as the independent variable and y as the dependent variable. So okay, so what we are doing is, and now I am scaling these variables before passing this into a Keras model. What I am doing is I am scaling the with the help of standard scalar function of from the sklearn library. Okay, so now first of all I am scaling. I created an object, two objects I created, one for the x variable and second for the this price variable. Okay, so I am let me execute this. Okay, first of all I have to execute this. Okay, so now these variable we have scaled version of prices and scaled version of sizes. Okay, so let's create a model, sequential model I am creating with the help of TensorFlow Keras. So okay, so first of all I have created two hidden layer, one with the 32 perceptrons and second with the 16 units. Okay, so let's create this model. I am also learning how to I read in the articles with experience and with the better understanding of the data sets, will with the experimentation with hit and trial also, gradually a practitioner learns to find the number of units, suitable number of units in a hidden layer or in a model. Okay, so next what we are doing is we are compiling this model. We are taking loss as a mean squared error, and optimizer will be Adam. We are activation as ReLU. We'll find this is to find non-linearity and relationship with the within these two variables, which is price and size. Okay, so let me execute this. Epochs 50 epochs will should be okay. And what we are fitting scaled version of X and scale version of Y. Validation split 0.2 epochs 50 epochs. Okay, let's see what happens. So see, I am not passing the transformed dataset. I am only passing the given dataset that we loaded, that we have. So let me clarify this. I am loading this data, not the no, actually not this data, but the scaled version of this, not the transformed version. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. What do I mean by that? I am scaled version of X. Let me show you what is this. So we have scaled the values of X with the help of standard scalar function of sklearn library. What this means is it took the mean as 0 and distributed the dataset around the mean. So what I was telling is this is a scaled version of X, not the transformed version. The transformation we tried here. I am not doing any transformation with the dataset. Okay, so we can see loss started with this 0.96 and it is gradually decreasing and it settled around 0.25, we can say. So okay, so our model is trained. Let us do some predictions. So I've created this prediction to pass original units of sizes and get the, so because this model is trained on scaled version of both X and Y. So what we can do is we can first of all in this function, custom function that I created, what I did was I created predictions function, and what are the parameters? Array should be passed. So what is the value? Model.predict scalar.transform array. So this is the scalar for X value. So we are transforming this into X values and then getting the prediction and storing it in the this variable, value variable, and then we are inverse transforming the Y value that we got from here. So we are inverse transforming. So we have predictions now for a 1504 square meters of size of a real estate. The price would be this much. Okay, so we have trained our first deep learning model for the regression problem. Okay, so let's plot some figures. So here we can see the loss is decreasing gradually, and then it kind of settled around after 25 epochs, we can say. What else regression plotting. Okay, let's see. So our model created this line. Obviously this is not a exactly linear one, but it find the relationship between the data very well. It is best fitted line, we can say. Also I tried also machine learning with the help of simple linear regression. I also tried to. So what we are doing is with the help of sklearn, we are, let me execute all these. So see, here is the linear regression, simple linear regression with the help of, we find this best fit line, and what we have here. So we are importing this linear regression from sklearn.linear model. So metric for some calculations, sklearn model selection. We are splitting the data set for into train and tests. Okay, so mean squared error. So mean squared error is this much, r square score is this much. So we can predict 70% of the variation can be predicted with our model. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope everything is clear. You have learned how to, actually I have learned how to solve a regression problem with the help of deep learning. So that's it for today.